right, fellow babies, welcome to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. If you are a Patreon patron or YouTube subscriber, thank you for all of the support. Shane appreciates it. If you can, remember, please, to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. That's everybody, subscribers and not. That's free, costs absolutely nothing. Amazon pays, it's all included in your Amazon Prime subscription. So please link those two accounts. There are instructions in the show description below. Costs you nothing. Amazon pays. Stick it to them because Shane gets paid. Today's question from SIFTD from Zet Saber. Why is Nintendo turning into a patent troll? That's funny, turning. It recently received a patent for something that happens in hundreds of video games made by other companies. Is there a way for someone to influence the patent office to approve these types of patents? Can recently issued patents be applied retroactively to products that existed before the patent being issued? I thought patents take years to get approved, but Nintendo got fast-tracked with its patents. Seems the world is crying shenanigans on this one. You know, I have 7 patents, so it's something I actually kind of know about. And when you patent a process, if it's widely in use elsewhere, you typically don't get the patent. So my guess is that the patent that you're talking about, and you didn't say what it was, is for a unique way to do the process that others do. In order to get awarded the patent, the process itself has to be unique. So I will tell you what my patent is for. I saw a SCUF controller which has paddles on the bottom of the controller, and by the way, the guy who designed it used to design paddles on a steering wheel to shift cars. To shift gears. So he applied that to the controller. And I then saw something called a gaming gun, and it's just like a duck hunter gun that you can use on your screen. And instead of paddles, it had what's called pedals, P-E-D-A-L-S, which are more like a gas pedal. So a paddle is an on-off switch, and a pedal is very gradual. So you push it a little bit, and it like you'll run slow, and you push it a little harder, you run medium speed, you push it hard, and you run fast. And so it occurred to me that instead of putting paddles on the bottom of a controller, you could put pedals. So we hired a design team, and we filed a patent for it, and we got it. And does SCUF violate our patents? Nope. Because we had to show existing tech in order to get the patent. And we showed what SCUF does, pedals, on, off, and we show what we do. We are pedals, gradual like a gas pedal, a little bit of gas or a lot, and the patent office said that's sufficiently unique, you get the patent. So I don't know what Nintendo's summoning patent says, right? I don't know what the process is. Summon, what does summon even mean?
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. It's time to find out why everyone is buying homes in Montana. Right now, Doug DeShazer has a beautiful single-level home with a triple-car garage available in the best neighborhood in Libby, Montana. This custom 3-bed, 2.5-bath home has a 500-square-foot patio for entertaining. It's built to last with solid wood core doors, Anderson windows, an asphalt driveway, central AC and heat, and a private well to run its sprinkler system. The price was recently reduced, and owner financing is available with 20% down. No matter where you're looking to buy in the US, Doug DeShazer is licensed to help. Make him your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643, or go to LibbyMontanaRealestate.com.
You know, when we applied for our patents, we had to actually show all the Sony and Nintendo patents on controllers, all the X and O and buttons, and all the joystick controls and all the shoulder. They're also paddles, all the shoulder paddles, and we had to differentiate, and we did. I think Nintendo's got the same thing. So the summoning mechanism used by other guys, Nintendo couldn't get a patent unless they said we're summoning differently. Now again, to answer your question, does that impact guys who have been using it for years? That's a defense against the imposition of a patent. Yeah, you got the patent, but I already was doing this and I didn't think it was unique enough to patent. So the odds are that anybody using it before Nintendo's patent wouldn't have to pay, wouldn't be subject to a cease and desist in a lawsuit. The way patents work, it's that you, the violator, were or should have been aware of the existence of the patent and knew you were stealing technology from somebody. And it happens all the time where people independently develop something that's already been patented and then try to do it and get blocked. If you were using it before, Nintendo couldn't get the patent unless they did something different from what you were doing. And again, I don't understand the tech. I don't know how a microwave works. So I can't explain, what exactly they put into the patent. But if they're different from what others are doing, they can't stop the others from doing what they're doing. So again, if I were to bet, they went in and looked at what palworld was doing and they patented that exactly so they could sue palworld and have one more reason to take that game off the market. But I don't know. I have no idea. So when did they turn into a patent troll? They've always been this way, and especially on hardware. Now, this is unusual for them in some type of a in-game software, move. But they got the patent, and the answer, can someone influence the patent office? They really can't. I mean, those guys. In the Trump administration, who knows? Maybe a bag of cash could influence anybody. But my view is no. The patent officers, they're examiners. They're really kind of regular guys who understand the tech. Each one has a specialty, and they look at hundreds and hundreds of different pieces of the application. Like I said, we had to list all pre-existing patents and all pre-existing processes in order to get ours. And we fast-tracked. It took us maybe 7 months. So happens all the time. You'd pay more for fast-track, but the patent examiner doesn't get anything for it. You can't apply it retroactively to products that existed before unless you can show that they have modified that product to rip off your design. If they existed before, you shouldn't have gotten the patent, right? So if they were doing exactly the same process that you got patented, you shouldn't be allowed to get it. If it's like trying to patent, Kleenex tissue making process or something. It's been around 100 years. You won't be granted that patent because they've been making, thin pieces of paper for hundreds of years, and you aren't getting that patent. So I would say if they got it, they're unique and they're different from what's being used in the existing world. It won't apply to products that existed before. You can talk about fast tracking being shenanigans. It's not. Of my 7, all 7 were fast tracked, and I think our fee was like $50,000, versus like 10. You pay 40,000 more to cut a couple of years off, but it was worth it. So we have patent protection. Look me up if you want to go do a patent search on Michael Pachter. You'll find all 7 of my patents, all game controllers and remote controls. All pedals versus paddles, and that was our distinction. That I literally looked at this game gun, and it had a speed up pedal, and it was like if you press it a little bit, the guy walked. If you press it hard, he ran. I was like, that's really cool. Why don't we put that on the bottom of a regular controller? And we did. And just that, and it's like if you ever look at a light switch, you have the dimmer switch, the up and down or the circle. Our pedals are dimmer switches, and I'm sure that whoever created that got a patent on it. The guy who created the on-off switch has a patent, which obviously expired because it's been 1,000 years. But you differentiate, you get a patent, and we did. And no, we aren't suing anybody. Nobody has done this before. Scuff told us they'd sue us, but then they saw our patent and they went, "Oh, I guess we can't." They can't. And by the way, did we rip Scuff off? Yeah, I got the idea from a Scuff controller. I'm like, that's pretty clever. Why are they paddles? Why aren't they pedals? Boom, new patent. So 100%. But I don't think there's any original ideas or original thought. I think everything is a really modest improvement over the prior design. And so, no, I think what Nintendo did is right. So, again, to our Patreon patrons and our YouTube subscribers, thank you. You're keeping Shane afloat. Anybody who has an Amazon Prime account, please remember to link that to your Twitch Prime account. You have to do that every month. There are instructions on how to do so in the show description below. It's free for you. You stick it to Amazon. You have to redo it every month. So please relink those 2 accounts. Shane gets an extra $250. It costs you absolutely nothing. You're sticking it to Amazon, and it's free money. It's part of your subscription, so take advantage of it. If you don't, you're a chump. That's it for Pachter Factor. I will see you, my fellow babies, next week.